Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Karia. I am a street style photographer based in New York City. In addition to doing street style photography, I also do fashion commentary, talking about trends and what people are wearing. Today I'm going to talk about the fall trends that I think we are going to see a lot of this coming fall season. These are a little bit of predictions, a little bit of just what I've already been seeing and where I see fashion evolving into fall. When I talk about fashion trends, I use something called the fashion trend curve. This is a way to visualize where trends are in the market, in the fashion consciousness. There are 6 different stages, and for this video, I'm mostly going to be talking about stages 2 through 5. But stage 1 is creation, so when a piece or a trend is created. Stage 2 is early growth. This is when it's kind of picking up a little bit. Early adopters are starting to wear it. It's starting to be talked about. Stage 3 is marketing period, so this is when brands are really starting to pick it up, and we're starting to see it more in stores. Stage 4 is mass adoption, so this is when a trend is the most saturated. We're going to see the trend being worn the most. So the trend is still being worn, still being sold, but perhaps it just isn't as popular, isn't as buzzy, isn't being talked about as much as before when it was in stage 4. And then stage 6 is not trendy. When I am placing these trends on the fashion trend curve, I am primarily speaking from my own experience living, working in New York City and North America. Where you live, you might be a stage behind, you might be a stage ahead of New York City and of my general observations. So as you watch, just adjust accordingly. Okay, let's get into some of these trends that I think we are going to see a lot of this fall. Starting off with tops and dresses, these trends can kind of go between these two pieces. First, in stage 4, I am putting off the shoulder. So off the shoulder tops can also be off the shoulder dresses. We've been seeing this trend growing for a few seasons now, and it's kind of reaching saturation right now in summer. I see so many off the shoulder, one shoulder kind of slouchy shirts going on. I think this is going to carry into fall, perhaps with off-the-shoulder sweaters, off-the-shoulder sweatshirts. I think is going to stay in this saturated stage 4 phase. Also in stage 4 are peplums. Peplums have been a trend that has been growing for a few seasons as well. And again, I think we'll just really be hitting that peak saturation this fall. And going down to stage 3, I think that Peter Pan colors will have a little bit of marketing period power for fall. While we're talking about tops and dresses right now, I also think that we could see a lot of Peter Pan colors and jackets. Also in stage 3, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of mini dresses. This is a little bit of a broad category, so let's break it down a little bit. Very 60s silhouette shift dresses, pinafores, baby doll dresses. And then in stage 2, I think something that is still in early growth, but I anticipate we might see more of next fall, but early adopters will be wearing this fall, is drop waist. Been seeing some drop waist coming down the runways from big brands, and I think that this could be something that will start to pick up in the fall. Next, we have bottoms, so pants and skirts. This also ties into the bottoms of dresses, but asymmetrical hemlines. Hemlines that are uneven side to side, as well as handkerchief hems. Asymmetry in general has been very popular the last few seasons. Marketing back to the tops, you can see it with the off the shoulder trend, and it is mirrored with the hemlines, also going to be in stage 4. In stage 3, we have embellished jeans. Embroidered, beaded, bedazzled. I'm seeing a good amount of brands putting out jeans for the fall that have this adornment, embellishment elements to it. So I think this is definitely a stage 3, maybe moving into stage 4. I might be giving some like half stages for some of these trends. In the beginning of the season, they might be in one stage, but have the potential to really accelerate to another stage. Also in stage 3 are wide leg capris. I think capris in general are in stage 4. Wide leg capris feel like the next evolution of the general capri trend, mixed with the jorts trend that has also been very popular. Put those together, you get the wide leg capris. One example is jersey gaucho pants. Another one that I think we might be seeing a good amount of are capri track pants, because track pants have been pretty popular. Track shorts have been really popular this summer. And then for stage 2, I think we're going to see some early movement in jogger jeans. I've been noticing a lot of emphasis on like ankles when it comes to pants lately. For example, barrel jeans, basically you're taking the wide leg trend, but then making them a little bit more tapered at the ankle. Salwar style pants have been really popular this spring and summer in New York. Next is outerwear. In stage 4, I think we are going to see a good amount of funnel necks. This can apply to a couple different jacket styles, but I think especially bomber jackets. Also in stage 4, I think will be ponchos. Just like what I am wearing, ponchos have been very popular for the summer in New York. We're seeing a lot of mesh, very loose crochet versions. I think for fall, we will see a lot of heavier knitted versions. In stage 3, I think we're going to see cropped trenches a good amount. Trenches are pretty classic, but there definitely was a pretty significant uptick in trench wear this past fall and winter. And crop trenches were a huge trend when I was in Paris in the spring. And Paris is usually like a half to a full stage ahead of New York. So I could definitely see New York picking this up in the fall. And then in stage 2, I think that pea coats will be the next evolution from the crop trenches. I could definitely see some early adopters picking up the pea coat for the fall. All right, let's move on to shoes. First, in very early stage 4, I think are clogs. Clogs have been picking up in New York City lately, and I think will really be peaking in fall. Clogs just feel like a fall shoe in general. Seeing a lot of brands putting out clogs, both platform and then like a thinner soled, more like mule style. We're also seeing mule sneakers. That's a whole nother section of shoes. Some really popular ones I'm seeing are of course Dansko, a bunch from Chloe, and then also the Plasticanas. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but these like kind of transparent gardener shoes. I think that these will be a really big trend in the fall. And then more maybe like stage 3, but as a prediction that I have is that the Merrell Jungle Mock will kind of come back and become like a cool shoe. A shoe element related to clogs as well are stud details, I think also in stage 4. I've been seeing a good amount of clogs being put out having stud details. I'm also seeing these in sandals, and I think we'll continue into the fall. For stage 3, we have high vamp flats. For a while, I was just calling these slippers. I didn't really know what to call them, and then I saw somebody calling them high vamp flats, and I was like, oh, of course, that's what they're called. Basically, the ballet flats that have been trending for a while, but with a much higher vamp. It's further up the top of the foot. Been seeing this grow, and I think is going to be quite popular in the fall. Also in stage 3 are gathered sneakers. This is something that I'm observing in both menswear and women's wear. Feels like the next evolution from the slim sole sneakers. You know, you gotta make something else. The same silhouette of a lot of the slim sole sneakers that have been very popular for the last few seasons, but with the gathering in the back, so they become a slip-on. Maybe you've sensed an overall theme, but I think a lot of shoes for fall that are going to be popular will be slip-on. And then finally for shoes, more in stage 2, but I've been having this prediction that Oxfords and brogues are going to come back as a shoe. I'd say this would be definitely more stage 2, maybe moving to stage 3, definitely more early adopter, but maybe we'll be picking up in future falls. Next, we have jewelry and accessories. And necklaces have been picking up for a while, and I think it's going to be a pretty solid stage 4 for the fall. I'm just waiting for owl necklaces. And in stage 3, we have pins and patches. Brooches, pins, patches, just like adding things to your bag, to your jacket, has been really picking up as a trend lately, and I think is going to not be at super saturation for the fall, so yeah, stage 3. Then we have functional bag charms, also in stage 3. Within the bag charm big trend craze, we've seen a little bit of a shift away from just ornamental, you know, plushy, Labubu charms, and more of a shift into charms that are actually functional and interactive. So little mini bags that, you know, you can store little things in. Product charmas are a great example of something that is functional in it and interactive. And then these next 2 trends, I think are somewhere between stage 2 and 3. I can't quite decide, so I'm just calling it like that in-between stage. Oversized maximalist hair clips. I'm seeing more and more of these, and I think we'll continue to pick up. And then we have aprons, a trend that has been slowly developing over the seasons. I think we are going to see it continue to develop. I don't think it's going to at all be at any sort of saturation for this fall. Okay, while we're at it, I'm also going to put scarf belts in stage 4, which is related to the apron. They're kind of like sisters. Both of these trends are putting something around your waist that's asymmetrical. Moving on to some bags for the fall. In stage 4, I think will be cargo bags. And there are some very specific bags that I have in mind for this. One of them is the Chanel 25 bag. I've been seeing more and more of these all over the place in New York. It's definitely on the higher end of the cargo bag trend. I think is emblematic of the popularity of this style. Stage 3 are kiss lock clasps. Coach has really brought this style of bag back into the zeitgeist. There are also some other brands like Marc Jacobs that are using this hardware for their bags and is becoming more and more popular. Also in stage 3, probably early stage 3, I'd say, are top handle bags. For the past few years, the predominant styles of straps on bags have either been 2 straps, like a bowler bag or a tote bag, or if there is only 1 strap, it goes from side to side, versus top handles where it is 1 handle, but it is in the middle of the bag. Top handle bags have kind of been in stage 6 for a while, but I've been seeing a lot more brands putting out top handle bags lately. One example is the Balenciaga Rodeo. We've also been seeing a lot of vanity case bags coming out from a lot of designers. And then another prediction that I have, and is something that I think is in stage 2, are satchels and messenger bags. I don't think that we're going to see too many of them this fall, but I do think that early adopters will be wearing bags that are kind of reminiscent to the messenger and satchel bag style, putting it in like stage 1, stage 2. All right, that was a lot of trends for the fall. Let me know if you think I'm right. If I'm wrong, let me know which trends you would wear versus what you wouldn't wear. I just love to hear your feedback. And make sure to like, subscribe, and follow along for more fashion content. Thank you for watching. Bye.